so it works for you. Tech should help, not get in the way. So let's keep it smart, make the most of your day. No gatekeeping, just straight up fun. Press play, join in, we've only begun. Tune in, chat live, stay up to speed. One click away, that's all you need. Life with Tech Nation, it's tech made bright. So let's explore the world of tech tonight.
Morning, everybody. How's it going? Wanted to see if everyone wanted to join me as I explore AI browsers. What is it? What options are there? How could I use them and what could I get out of them? So the two biggest AI browsers out there right now is DIA and Comet. They're both pretty different, if you ask me. I've been using DIA for a week or two now. I just got into the Perplexity, who makes Comet. So I've had that one for about 24 hours. I figured I'll give you a quick run through and we will explore it a little more today together. DIA also dropped an update this morning. I haven't even looked at it. It added some new skills and other features. You could take a look at that together as well. And dive in, answer some questions as questions come in. And yeah, I'm really curious about this. I see many uses from DIA. There's a lot you could do with Comet. Choosing the right one, that's the big question. We've also done a video a couple of days ago on DIA itself, so we won't focus too much in there. We'll kind of look at what's new that came out today. And again, if you have questions, guys, throw them in the comments and we'll get right to them. So let's start off with DIA. We'll jump over to DIA browser. Okay, here we go. So DIA is still considered kind of beta and early access. Both of the browsers are. So from that standpoint, they're the same. Also, the price points are about the same. So they do have their free versions, a $20 version, and then they both have a $200 crazy version. Okay, so what is DIA? And DIA is basically a browser that you could have AI help you search for specific things in your open tabs. So we're at the DIA webpage here. We'll just take a quick glance at it, chat with your tabs, help you write. We'll scroll down a little. There's a little video you could watch. DIA for writing. They give some illustrations here. So you have this sidebar that opens up. I'll open it up here on the right-hand side. And that is your AI prompts. That's where you can write and you could ask it questions about your tab. Now, the cool part here is too, not just about the specific tab you're in. It could be all the tabs you have open or all the tabs in a certain domain that's open. And we'll get to that. And we could do different things. Let's keep scrolling down here, see what else. DIA for learning. Again, you could ask questions, format in specific ways. Just think ChatGPT. I'm not sure exactly what AI DIA is using, I believe they're saying they keep changing it depending on what's good, and it keeps evolving. So I don't think they're using a specific one API to an AI out there or a specific LLM. Shopping. You could ask questions about certain things. And I'm going to gloss over some specifics here, and we're going to come back to that later. Is DIA for you? DIA privacy and control. So this is a big caveat, right? How much more data are we giving these AIs in everyday tasks? So in case you don't know, DIA is made by the browser company. They're the ones that made Arc. They kind of dropped Arc to focus on DIA. I did like Arc. It was very nice. But yeah, the fact they dropped it. I still ended up going back to Chrome, to be perfectly honest. I used Arc for quite a few months and ended up going back to Safari just because I'm very much in that Apple ecosystem, and having the same browser on every device really helps. So not having an ISO version, an iOS version, or an Apple Vision Pro version, or again, the list goes on. It was hard to keep bookmarks and things in sync. And that's something else I'll add. At this current time, there is no syncing bookmarks or settings between either of these two browsers. That's something that to me is very frustrating, and I kind of put feature requests out on both of these apps and services. But again, they're selling at about $20 a month for their first tier plan. You should have sync for $20 a month. Have sync. Your AI that could do all these things. Add sync. Portis, I am Apple all day, every day. Nice. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so a little more into DIA. So things we could do. So we could make use of this AI on the right-hand side for different things. If I go to my RSS reader, just to look at some articles that's going on right now, just so I could pull up a few tabs. I'll pull a couple of tabs open, and then we'll go from there. So if I come onto this page, this Life Hackers page, open up the chat again, the first thing we notice down in this right is this chat box. And we'll notice right above this chat box, it's linking to this page. That's how it knows which tab to use. So what we could do here is we have skills. So before we even go into skills, on this page, let's just say summarize. This is the basic thing, right? This is what's in Chrome browser itself. A lot of apps, even my RSS feeder will summarize things for you. So this is a very basic thing. But besides that, we could write our own skills. So a skill is a prompt. If we type /, it pops up this new skill window. And if we click on there, we could come in and name our skill. We'll name this test. Summarize with bullet points. And now we just created a new skill or prompt. And in here, you could see I have a couple already. YouTube reply, some for my normal summary, job copy. I actually went through my sum one in that last video with DIA. Let me go ahead and post that link in the comments. You guys could check that out too. But yeah, so let's go ahead and close this, jump back over here. And now if we go /, we could actually see the testing here. And if we run that, it's giving me it in bullet points. Again, this is very basic use scenarios, right? If I come up here and click new, I could get a new tab, and your last couple of skills that you've used is up here over your skill window. So the sum, like I was talking about, which is a summary for me. But let's find the YouTube video. That's what I use that one for, and we'll demo it one more time. Let's look here real quick. So my summary prompt is pretty specific. That I wanted to kind of answer the hook in question first. That's in the video, and I don't really see any, of course, when we're live. Let's just take this video from Steven and go sum, which is going to use my prompt. And my prompt is basically answer the question that they have in the title. And basically, it's saying, yes, you can permanently remove. And then it gives me a short 2-sentence summary. Then it gives me bullet points and key points from that video. And it's doing all this from pulling in the transcripts. And then any product that's mentioned in the video, give me links for them. That's what I'm doing with this. Again, you could get really fancy and really into it. Let's do a Google search. What Apple event in September? I just want to find a couple of articles are kind of around the same thing. Top stories. So I'm just going to open a couple of these. So I have a bunch of tabs open, right? And then I'm going to come back to this chat. So if we click this little plus button, I think the logo might be hiding it a little on the right bottom, but we'll see options in here. Open all tabs, but then history, and then it will show the tabs you have open. So I could select these tabs. And what it's not showing is if you have tabs, multiple tabs from the same sorry guys, the camera died for a second. So if you have multiple tabs that are open from the same domain, it will give you an option to choose that domain so you can use all of them at one time. And I think if you have more in here, it will do that as well. Okay, so with that said, so I could go summarize. I'm just going to keep using the same basic thing. So now it's going to give me a summarize of all the information it found through all three of those tabs. Event date, series. That's kind of the power here. So you can pull data from multiple locations. You know, kind of like you could vet your sources. You could do things like that. No one does Google search anymore. You're right. It's kind of going. Google has something to lose. They're the ones making the most money on search. I hope they're pushing forward and going to try something new. So with DIA, that's kind of it. I like the layout of DIA. The browser company is really good with making things look nice and making things work nice. However, Comet can do a little more, and we're going to dive into that here in a moment. So DIA very much can't do anything on your behalf. It's more of a research assistant for you. It could write things. Let's go to. Let's go to Facebook. Let's just go to Facebook groups. Yes. Okay. Let's go to Facebook directly. And close the side panel for a minute. Let's find a comment here. So let's take a look at this. Open up the chat. So it knows we're in this Facebook group. And if I highlight something, notice that it pops up another bar over here. It knows that you've highlighted something. I didn't copy it. I didn't add it to clipboard or anything. I just highlighted it and it shows that it's here. So now I could say, write a response to this saying Oakley has better battery. And there's the response it wrote, right? Pretty helpful. You can click the button to copy, but if you're actually clicked in this box, there's actually an insert now. So if I clicked inside the form box, there's now an insert button. And if I just click the insert, it pastes it right in there. And then we can just hit go. So it can't do anything on your behalf. However, it can prep you and get you to that point of posting something. I am not going to respond to this guy. I'm going to delete it for right now. Okay. So let's close some of these tabs, clean house. So with that said, I like DIA a lot. I think it's going in the right direction. There's probably less to worry about than with Chrome, and we'll get into that and why here shortly. If you just need something to do research and help you towards something, DIA is pretty good. But it's also at the same price point as Comet. Maybe if it was lower, it might be a little more enticing for people, but I think it's a lot nicer. It's not a lot nicer to look at. It's a lot more intuitive, if you ask me. But that's what the browser company's always been good at. But let's dive over to Comet. Okay, so we have Comet pulled up here. So Comet looks pretty close, you know. Both of these browsers, I should mention, are Chromium browsers. So they're all based on Chrome. They all use Chrome extensions. they all use Chrome settings in the background, right? So they're just building on top of it. So I've been explaining Chrome to people I've been explaining Comet to people. Comet is like a Chrome superhero. It could do it has superpowers. It's Chrome with superpowers. It very much feels like Chrome, and I feel like that's the thing I don't like. I'm coming from Safari, and it's like, So the big thing with Comet is we'll go through the site. Browse at the speed of thought. Let's close our assistant on the side that's still open. It's showing them mapping stuff out with an actual website. It's showing ordering something, giving you recipes from these things. So now that we're talking about Chrome, the big thing, I keep saying Chrome instead of Comet. They both start with C's. They're getting me tongue-tied. The thing with Comet is it can click on things on the screen. That's down to the simple thing. I think Comet looks better and it's more intuitive. DIA is more intuitive and it looks better, but I think Comet can do more. But that can also be scary, right? A lot of this AI stuff is Pandora's box. It's opened. I think we need to understand it, even if we don't use it. We need to understand what's out there and what other people are using and what they're doing with it. So Comet can interact with your web pages. So it could do the same thing as DIA, right? So let's go back to Inner Reader again. Let's go to an article that has the same thing on the right hand side. This one's called Assistant. You pull it up, and the same thing. It has some pre options in here. Compose a reply to a question, highlight, answer, find a related discussion. Anyway, the same thing like the other one. If we type /, we'll get what Comet calls shortcuts, which are prompts. DIA calls them skills. Comet calls them shortcuts. Same thing. If we come in here, we'll take a quick look again. The same thing as the other one. You have a shortcut area where you name it, you have the instructions, and then you have an advanced. If you open up the advanced, what kind of mode are you using it in? So you can actually select your modes. And then you could select the model and then the sources. So the sources could be web, academic, social, finance. Again, this is more kind of like along the lines of an agent. But with that said, again, we could come in here and I could go, I don't even have a summary in here, but let's just do summary. And it'll give us a basic summary of that one tab that we have open. Just like before, if we have multiple tabs, it could summarize the multiple tabs. But again, a key thing here is it being able to act on your behalf, right? Let's go back to that same example on Facebook. Let's go to something. So it already knows that I'm in that tab. That's why over here it shows the Facebook icon, and for it, it's named the same thing as the tab is named up here. So it's already looking into that. So let's go. Let's make a response to. again, I just highlighted Devin Brooks and it put Devin Brooks under the Facebook over here, saying these glasses look awesome. Let's not say, let's be a little more specific. Let's respond saying these glasses look awesome. And I'm going to leave the typos in there. So notice the screen just lit up blue along the edges. That's it looking at the web page and figuring out where things are. Notice it just pasted the text in there and then it hit send. Is this scary? Hey guys, sorry about the technical difficulties with the camera. I think the battery is pretty much dead, so it's not holding, even though it's plugged in, it's not holding it for long. Neither here nor there. We'll see if it goes off again. So what I was saying is this should be scaring us, right? The fact that it could interact with a web page, and they've done other things like it could go on Amazon and purchase things for you. I mean, do you want AI to be able to purchase stuff for you without any interaction? I feel like they should be a security feature where that it prompts at the very end saying we're going to do this, and it needs a human interaction to make that happen. I'm very weary about leaving Comet running on my computer when I'm not there. I make a conscious effort to quit it and make sure it's not running in the background or anything. Here's a thought here, guys. The way everyone is writing viruses, malware, things like that, and the ability of having AI to do that stuff with them, we already are worried about clicking links inside emails and things of that nature. What happens if you click a link that opens at Comet, and then Comet runs through a website? You're automatically already logged in and your passwords are in there for Amazon, and it makes purchases on Amazon that you didn't do. It's kind of scary, right? Because also it's like, it makes it hard to fight because it's being sold from your IP address, from your location, from your account. Things like this can get a little scary. It taking over and seeing what it could do. I have a friend, James, that has a site called Music Craze. If we go to their live chat real quick. So I was testing last night, just with, this is an online chat, right? I don't know if he's on right now, but what I did was I made a prompt. Let's see if this prompt is still in here. No, I don't have the prompt on this computer. I was doing it on my laptop. So again, there's no sync in either of these browsers, which bugs me, which means that the bookmarks, if I update bookmarks on my desktop computer, I have to also go update them on my laptop. The skills or shortcuts that I'm making on this computer are not synced with my other computer, so I have to bring them over there. So I'm saving all my skills and shortcuts into Bear and then opening them over there and putting them there. It's just keeping them in sync. Again, if I'm on a paid service, this should be automatic. So what I was telling it to do And, you know, maybe I will just to illustrate this and do it on the fly. Let's say when, let me see if someone's chatting right now. I want to see someone who's kind of actively chatting. So this person is chatting right now. When I'm going to paste it, even though I could see it above my name, that's what I have selected. When so-and-so says something, or let's say when so-and-so's next comment, reply with hello. And then I'm going to run this. And let's take a look. So on the right hand, it's saying preparing to generate a reply, greetings, the user with hello in response to that comment. Now the site is lighting up blue. On the current music craze lobby chat monitor, the system for, so it's going to monitor what's going on there and wait for another response. So now it just detected that he posted something. Good. The input box is now in focus. It's doing some reasoning. So when I did this yesterday, it actually clicked on multiple things and tested the site before it actually did it. But look at this. Boom. It just did it. So again, this ain't Facebook or anything. This is a live chat that's happening, and it's able to do it. It's able to figure it out and knock it out. And it said hello. Again, you know, with the prompts, we could really nail this in. All right, my camera went again. Sorry. I'm not giving the battery long enough to charge. All right, guys. All right, someone said 20 bucks a month. Can I get rid of ChatGPT? Daniel, I don't know. I still like GPT and I still go back to it. You can do probably everything you can. I'm going to close this site because I don't know if there's anything on that site that's going to come through and flag YouTube. I really don't know if it can do almost everything ChatGPT. ChatGPT 5 just came out, and the coding and everything is really good. So I don't know. I guess it depends on your use case. What are you using ChatGPT for? I personally still have it. I'm using the free version of DIA, and I'm using the free version of Comet right now. I haven't decided which one I'll end up going to. I would love just to see, you know, ChatGPT come out with a browser and crush it, right? Or ChatGPT turns around and buys Comet, and now they have a head start, or something like that. Neither one of these, well, I shouldn't say that. I think inside Comet, I thought there was, yeah, so Comet, there's also a screenshot button. You could quickly take a screenshot of the web page. There is a way to, let me look at the, maybe I'm confusing them. One of these, you could select which one of the models you want to use, but I don't think ChatGPT was in there. I think it's just a variation of their own. I think they might have also had Claude in there. What else? Comet also has, well, they have a library. This is all your stuff. They also, there you go, that's what I was looking for. So they also have a voice mode. And I don't think this is going to come through on the computer right now, but you could talk to it like you would ChatGPT and...
Absolutely. Feel free to ask me anything, or let me know how I can assist you. I'm here to help.
So, yeah, so I mean, that's nice. I don't believe, before I say that, I don't believe DIA has that. DIA has, let's jump back over to DIA. DIA does have a microphone that you could speak to it, but not like that, right? This is kind of just more, let's get off those pages. This is more like you just recording your text, you know, a transcription into it. So Comet is nice that they do have that. Through the main tab, you do have all the Perplexity stuff. So if you're a Perplexity user, so that might be the more of the break off, Daniel, is you wouldn't be trading Comet for ChatGPT, you'd be trading Perplexity for ChatGPT. And that might be, you know, it'd just be the very, like, which one do you like better? Which is good for your use case. I personally like ChatGPT. It's kind of the jack of all trades, but maybe master of none. I don't know. Master of some for a little while. But I'm really torn. If security is your thing, maybe using Comet if you don't need it to do anything specifically for it, using DIA for that, and using Comet for more stuff that you might need interactions. Again, you know, think of DIA like, think of Comet. If we jump back to Comet real fast. If we're on Webpages, we could, and you're let's say you're a web developer, right? Let's go to LifeWithTech. Let's go to our actual web page. So that's our LifeWithTech webpage. Let's say I don't know any web development, right? And it's kind of like, how do I change the background of this web page? Let's say I haven't done this before. We're doing it live with you guys. So the first option it's showing me is Squarespace is an option site, and it's literally telling me how to click through it and do it. It is a Squarespace website, so it knew that off the bat, and it's giving me instructions on how to do that. And it's even telling me this, if I had a WordPress block theme, I could control it in CSS. If I had a ghost, targeting just the home page, it's actually telling me the CSS for the body and for that, and what the wrapper is. So again, getting specific stuff for a page because it could see the code is kind of like, think of what we do with Safari and Chrome with the inspector, right? We inspect everything to find, say, where we're going to chop up a reactive website. Like, where are those cuts? Being able to kind of use something like this rather than use the inspector, just ask it a quick question and get a quick answer, is pretty nice. But that being said, I've never done that little test, but let's go ahead and jump back to DIA and ask it the same question, because I'm curious. How do I change the background color? Let's close that prompt. Hit enter. So using custom CSS or browser extensions. Browser extension, developer tools, temporary, right click on the page, inspect F12. So it's kind of telling you how it already got the CSS color. And, you know, that's how I would test the page anyway. I wonder, can you change the background red as a test? Didn't really like that. Can you demo and show me it? Yeah, so we can't do it, but let's ask that same question to Comet. Jump over to Comet. All right, and I copied and pasted it. Can you change the background red as a test? So it's lighting up green again. Open the site editor or inject temporary CSS to change the background color. Reading sources. I can't modify your live site directly. Here's the quickest way to test the red background. Okay. So of course it's not going to be able to get to it. But I was curious if what we do in the inspector, where we could just change the color right in the CSS, and do that if it was able to do it. Maybe would, you know, if I asked a more specific question or something, that would work better. But all right, guys, I think we're going to call it here. I think that ran pretty long. So, yeah, guys, again, it's a live show, and let me know your comments down below. Are you planning on using one of these? Are you using one of these AI browsers? Are you scared of them? Tell me your experiences, your thoughts. Leave a comment below, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.